Hey, good afternoon. It's Wednesday, and it's time for another edition of the Health Hour. I'm Mike Sasser, and coming at you live here from Conroe, Texas. And I'd like to say that it's a hour of health news you can use. Right here on Lone Star Community Radio. And if you're listening to us today, hey, you're probably plugged in on the internet or on your device, your mobile device there, listening at www.irlongstar.com. You can listen to the Health Hour every Wednesday. We do a live show, but we also do the podcast. And let's say you miss a show, or you want to go back and check out some of the shows that we've done in the past. Just go to irlongstar.com and check out the archives. The Health Hour is on there, as well as many other great shows on the Lone Star Community Radio. And exciting news, very soon we will be FM as well. So not only will you be able to catch us on the internet and listen pretty much anywhere there's internet, which I think is really cool, but you'll be able to listen to us locally here in Montgomery County and surrounding areas on FM 104.5 and FM 106.1, and that is coming in July. Yeah. Dick's over here shaking his head. Yeah, so I got it right that time too. So, but yeah, the Health Hour right here on Lone Star Community Radio. And by the way, if you want to get in touch with me, again, Mike Sasser, your host every week here. Go to my website at www.mikesasser, that's MikeSasser.com, and click on the Contact Mike page. And that way you can email me, you can Facebook me. I also have a Twitter account. I'll be honest, I don't really tweet that much or use it that much, but if you're a big Twitter type person, you can find me on Twitter as well. And all of those links are right there on my website. And so that's the best way to get in touch with me. If you'd like to maybe make a comment or have a question on the show, maybe have an idea for an upcoming show. If you're in the we talk about health, we talk about nutrition, we talk about just kind of overall well-being. So if you're maybe in that type of business or line of work, maybe you'd be interested in being on a guest on a show. So hey, that's the way to contact me. And also, certainly, if you want to be a sponsor of the show, be a part of the Health Hour, then always we are looking for sponsors. So again, MikeSasser.com is the way to get in touch with me. And a matter of fact, I'm going to try something kind of new today. I haven't done this, but I posted on Facebook, so if you caught that and you're tuning in, you're listening in, I'm going to give away one of my books today. I authored a book. It's called Simple, Inexpensive, and Painless Weight Loss, and it's my true story of how I lost weight and how I've kept it off for practically 2 years now. And, I kind of promote this on Facebook and things like that. And actually, that's how this radio show kind of came about. I was a guest on a couple of shows, and lo and behold, boom, I kind of got my own show here. So I'm giving away a copy of my book, but you have to contact me through my website at, on the Contact Mike page. Email me, and in the description there, in the message, type in code word soda. That's the code word for today. So if you're the fifth email that I get today during the show, from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., you get a copy of, matter of fact, you get a signed copy of my book, Simple, Inexpensive, and Painless Weight Loss. So let's have a little fun with that. Again, keyword for the next hour is soda. Okay, so I'll be looking for those emails through the show, and let me tell you about what I've got lined up for you today. I'm going to talk about weight loss over 40. I happen to be over 40, and as a matter of fact, that's what kind of spurred me on, is reaching an age that I really began kind of thinking more about my overall health than okay, well, I need to lose a few pounds so I'll look good in my swimsuit this summer. But that's important too. Don't get me wrong, that's important too. But as you age, there are certain things that you need to pay attention to, or things you can do that kind of help you at least maintain your weight. And if you need to drop a few pounds, you can do that too. I share a lot of that stuff in my book, but I found a great article. I'm going to share some things with you on weight loss over 40. And then on the second segment, I tell you what, I believe with all my heart that sugar is what is making America overweight. I'll just say it, fat. And it's what is keeping America overweight. And, obesity rates are continuing to climb among children as well as adults. And it's due to the sugar. Sugar is in practically every food that we eat nowadays. And, so I began to look around, and actually, you know what? It may not be all the food. You might be actually kind of eating healthy, so to speak. But if you are a soda drinker, like Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, things like that, I am going to reveal some of the amounts of sugar that are in these popular sodas or cold drinks that we drink, and you're going to be surprised. I mean, you just I was kind of floored, and if you're drinking one or two of these things a day, that could be contributing to your waistline more so than the food that you're eating. So we're going to talk about soda and the ones that are just really loaded with sugar, but yet are very popular. I picked out the popular ones to share with you. And then we're going to do a weekly segment that I like to try to get in here. It's called Restaurant Reviews or Restaurant Reports. And what I do is I actually get the restaurant report inspections from the Montgomery County health inspectors. Every week they go out in and around Montgomery County, which is a big county, by the way, and they inspect the restaurants. And so I get those inspections. I look through them and find some that maybe are interesting or whatnot. So we're going to look and see this week what restaurants did good, as in like 100%, no problems, no issues whatsoever, while the inspector was out there. And then we're going to see some restaurants that maybe needed a little bit of work, or some things that needed attention while the inspector was there. So, if you're thinking or wondering if your restaurant maybe is on this report, well, hey, stay tuned, okay? All right. And then we're going to wrap up the show with weekly grocery ads. And that's all about what's on sale. Every Wednesday, practically every grocery store, including your small, your smaller stores, not just the big chains, but your smaller stores as well. Every Wednesday they come out with their ads for the upcoming week, and I like to just take a look at them and see if there's maybe one or two things on there that I can mention that maybe is a healthy choice or a good choice. I don't necessarily get into the actual sell prices and things like that, but maybe just point out a couple of good things that are on sale. And we'll take a look at Kroger's today. I had to make a Kroger's run this morning, so I picked up one of their sales ads. I've got it right here with me. So that's what I've got going on for you here on the Health Hour today. And like I said, again, exciting thing is I'm giving away one of my books. So how do you get a book? How do you get in there? Email me. Go to MikeSasser.com. Click on Contact Mike. This little page will pop up, and it's basically a very simple little form there. You just fill it out, type in code word soda, all right, and email me. And if you are the fifth emailer, then hey, we'll get together and we'll get you a copy of my book, signed copy of my book. So, all right, weight loss tips for people over 40. Actually, these tips are kind of tried and true, almost no matter what age you are. But I guess maybe they become a little bit more important as we age. Our metabolism starts slowing down. There's a lot of things that go on, as we get older. It may be that your job changed. I know for myself when I was younger, I did more kind of physical type jobs. I moved a lot more. I was maybe even worked out in the heat. And by the way, just a safety advisory here. if you are working out in the heat, please hydrate. It's very hot out there. It's very humid out there, and you can dehydrate very quickly in this type of weather. So, okay, all right. But anyway, when I was younger, I was working outside. I was doing physical type work and stuff like that. But as I aged, as I got older, thank goodness, I kind of, I guess, I don't know, climbed the ladder or whatever. But I found myself more, sitting behind desk or attending meetings, or I spent a lot of time driving as well. I used to do health and safety in the oil and gas industry, and I covered a lot of territory, so I did a lot of driving. So basically, that's how I really kind of packed on the pounds over the last few years there, several years actually. But anyway, so here's some things that I found that will help you if you're over 40 or any age for that matter. And the first one is pretty simple. I mean, these are not really hard things to do, but eat slowly. I admit, when I was working, it seemed like we were always in a hurry. Maybe we was on the road. You just grab a bite to eat, and you just kind of woof it down. 2 or 3 bites, it seemed like, and it's done. But eat slowly, and it gives your body time to, literally your stomach time, to tell your brain that, hey, I'm filling up here. I'm okay. And you may find that you'll eat a little bit less portion control right there. And you may find that you enjoy your food a little more. So slow down on your eating. The next I found interesting was don't go on low carb or high fat or low fat diets rather. There's so many diets out there. Again, well-balanced meals is the best thing for you. Your proteins, your vegetables, your fruits, fiber. Fiber is excellent for you, especially as you age. Fiber helps you. Fiber helps you stay regular, and we know that. There's all kind of medicines or over-the-counter stuff for that. But food, especially fruits, have so much fiber that you can do this naturally. You don't have to buy all this stuff at the grocery store. It's all expensive. Have protein with every meal. Now, there's all kind of protein sources. That doesn't mean you have to eat a T-bone steak with every meal. You get your protein from beans. You get your protein from fish, seafood, things like that. So have protein. And the next thing and last thing is don't try to be perfect. Okay, a lot of people say, well, I'm going to start tomorrow, and I'm not going to eat any fast food, and I'm going to work out every day. And you make these almost outrageous goals, or you're setting yourself up for failure. Don't try to be perfect. You're going to slip. I slip. I love Whataburger. I'll go to Whataburger. I'll do fast food sometimes, but you just you get back on track. I guess what I'm getting at is don't beat yourself up. That's the big thing. Enjoy some of the things that you like. Don't try to. I personally don't agree with cutting out, all breads, all pastas, and all rice, and all this kind of stuff. If you like that kind of stuff, sooner or later you're going to eat it, and if you deprive yourself, you're going to binge. So there are some things to help you keep the weight off, or maybe even lose some weight. 40 years or older, or just about any age as far as that goes. Yep. You heard it right here on the Health Hour. We are getting ready to go on the break, and when I come back, I'm going to tell you what. I have sodas. This blew me away. I think it's going to blow you away. So come back and check out how much sugar is in sodas. So come on back.
Lone Star Community Radio is FM. That's right. Set your radio dials and your button presets to Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1, coming in June of 2016. To celebrate this edition and the addition of video versions of our talk and music shows on YouTube, cable TV, and Our City TV, we are offering special sponsorships rates, which include free audio spots that are played throughout our broadcast. Interested? Check out our sponsor rates for shows just like the one you're listening to online at irlonestar.com/sponsor, or call the station at 936-647-5747. Reaching the people of Montgomery County with Montgomery County's community radio station with Lone Star Community Radio.
Hey, welcome back to the Health Hour with Mike Sasser. I am Mike Sasser, your host. And by the way, we do this show every Wednesday live right here on Lone Star Community Radio, coming at you from downtown Conroe, Texas, kind of right here in the heart of Montgomery County. So, we like to do things kind of locally, and basically what the Health Hour is all about is, passing along information to you to keep you and your family healthy and safe, and just kind of good overall well-being, if you will. And so not any of the bad news on here. We try to keep it all upbeat, positive, and share some good things with you that you can better your family. And we're on the internet right now. We're at www.irlonestar.com. That is the station website, and there's a listen live. You just click on that, and boom. If you're not listening now, then that's how you listen. So share that with your friends. Let them know how to get in touch. The Health Hour is just one show on here. There's a lot of great shows on Lone Star Community Radio that you can listen to. And by the way, everything is podcast. So let's say you miss a show, or you're just tuning in now, and you're like, wow, well, I wonder what the Health Hour is all about. Well, guess what? We have 8, 10 shows now, 12 shows that are podcast that you can go back and listen to anytime. That's the cool thing. Podcast, at midnight, you can listen to them. So that's a great deal. But we will soon be on FM as well, and that will be on in July on FM 104.5 and FM 106.1. Right here, Lone Star Community Radio, man. We're getting big time. So the Health Hour right here, Wednesdays at 1 p.m. and yeah, by the way, again, if you have questions, comments, would like to sponsor the show, if you are in the health industry or, something to that effect, business, if you will, contact me, and maybe we'll have you on the show, talk about, what you do, the benefits of how it benefits people, and share what you do out there. So a lot of things going on. And again, the way to contact me directly is www.mikesasser.com, and that's really important today because I'm giving away one of my books, a personally signed copy of Simple, Inexpensive, and Painless Weight Loss. And you contact me from my website there, and just click on contact Mike, and the 5th email that comes through today, I'll send you one of my books. Yeah, there you go. So all right, kind of my first time to, I guess, give away a book on the air, and that's the way we're going to do it, because I really would like for you to contact me and let me know what you think about the show, and any other comments that you might want to share. So moving on. We talked about some weight loss tips over 40, and some good things there. I left out one. I wanted to go back and just touch on this, and the biggest, most important one is, and again, these are for any age, but you know what? Walking. That is basically what I do as my exercise routine, activities, if you will. I walk in the park, and that was one big thing that was mentioned here is, as long as you have your health, almost, if you can walk, that is a great activity, a great way to get out and do things. So again, all ages can do that. Now, all right, sugar in sodas. Man, I tell you what, if you're not sitting down, you might want to sit down, because this blew my mind, and it's so widespread. It's so, I guess, it's such a big problem that even the lawmakers and the government, if you will, is getting into trying to wake us all up about the sugar in sodas. Matter of fact, I read where Philadelphia was the first major U.S. city to pass a tax on soda. That's how they're going to approach it. I think New York a couple of years ago tried to ban, what was it? These 44-ounce sodas, fountain drinks, or whatnot. I don't think that worked there. But so now they're going to go after you on taxes on sodas. And Philadelphia has proposed, actually has passed, a 1.5 cents per ounce, which is about $1 more for a 2-liter on soda. And that is set to take effect January 1, 2017. Now, again, that's Philadelphia. That's, not all across the nation or anything like that. But and here's why. Again, and I guess in really no certain order here, but I went through and looked at the sodas that are kind of popular out there, I guess, at least what I think is popular. And, that's the ones that I wanted to clue you in on here. So, are you ready? Drum roll, please. Okay, here we go. Fanta Grape. If you are a Fanta Grape lover out there, a 12-ounce can or bottle, 12 ounces, contains 180 calories and 48 grams of sugar. That is nearly double what your body needs or what they recommend in a day. The recommendations for the World Health Organization is basically 25 grams of sugar, or roughly about 6 tablespoons of sugar per day. That's all that you need. If you drink one of these, you are nearly at 2 times the amount of sugar that you need before you eat anything else, before you put anything else in your mouth. Fanta Grape, 48 grams of sugar. This is one of my favorites growing up when I was a kid, and it was always especially good on a hot summer day. A&W cream soda, 12 fluid ounces, again, 48 grams of sugar, 180 calories. Hated to see that, I really did. A&W root beer, 12 ounces, 180 calories. 46 grams. Well, okay, you've got 2 grams less sugar in the A&W root beer there, but still, do you see that? Just one can of this, and you have nearly double the amount of sugar that you need the entire day. That I really believe is where the obesity crisis is coming from. We love our sodas, we love our fast foods and things like that, but again, it may not be what you're eating, it may be what you're drinking. All right, here's another popular one here, and Mountain Dew. All right, Mountain Dew, 12 fluid ounces again, 170 calories, 46 grams of sugar. These things are loaded with sugar. I mean, you're almost like just taking a sugar bowl and pouring it down. I mean, there's just so much sugar in these. All right, Mellow Yellow. I don't know if I've ever really had a Mellow Yellow, but they seem to be pretty popular. I see them here and there and about sometimes. So 12 fluid ounces, Mellow Yellow, 170 calories, 47 grams of sugar. Keep in mind now, 25 grams is what you need a day. Basically, that's the recommendation. You can actually get by on less than 20. It's not like you have to eat 25 grams. They're saying that is the recommended daily amount that you should consume, or you shouldn't go over that. And by the way, that has recently increased by the FDA. I think they doubled it, but still, it's almost like kind of cheating, if you will. It's like, well, everything has so much sugar in it, let's just raise the amount of sugar everybody can have. But you know what, if you really want to watch your weight, if you really want to watch your health, because again, sugar leads to overweight, overweight leads to obesity, obesity leads to health issues. And I think that's the big problem that we're having. We're experiencing a lot of health issues are stemming from all of this sugar. Moving on, Sunkist. All right, Sunkist, 12 ounces, 162 calories, 43.2 grams of sugar. Okay? Still over 40 grams of sugar. All right? In one can. One can. I'm not talking about, like a 6-pack. One can. All right? Wild Cherry Pepsi Cola. 12-ounce can, 160 calories, and 42 grams of sugar. So I try to be consistent here, or fair. I'll say fair. So cherry Coca-Cola, all right, kind of the counterpart there, if you will. 12 fluid ounces, 150 calories. Again, 42 grams of sugar. All right, that's a lot. That's a lot of sugar. All right, Pepsi Cola, just plain old Pepsi Cola. All right, 12 fluid ounces is 150 calories, 41 grams of sugar. That's Pepsi, okay? Now, Coca-Cola, just classic regular Coca-Cola, 12 ounces, 140 calories, 39 grams of sugar. Again, one can of any of these sodas and you're over the daily amount. I was walking out of a store today and I was looking at the Sprite, and this is a 20-ounce, okay? 20-ounce Sprite. One of the plastic bottles, and I was just curious because you're going to drink most of that, right? You probably drink all of it. 64 grams of sugar in that one 20-ounce bottle of Sprite. So, pay attention to the sugar that you're drinking in your sodas, in your juices, and everything, okay? That is where the sugar is hidden. That is where you're probably getting the most of your sugar if you drink sodas and juices and things like that. Look at the nutrition labels. Read those nutrition labels. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with a little bit of Montgomery County restaurant reports. Come on back.
Lone Star Community Radio is on FM. That's right. Set your radio dials and your button presets to Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1 coming in June 2016. To celebrate this edition and the addition of video versions of our talk show and music shows on YouTube and cable TV, we are offering special sponsorship rates, which include free audio spots that are played throughout our broadcasts. Interested? Check out our sponsor rates for shows just like this one you're listening to right now online at irlonestar.com/sponsor. Or call the station at 936-647-5747. Reaching the people of Montgomery County with Montgomery County's community radio station with Lone Star Community Radio.
Hey, welcome back to the Health Hour with Mike Sasser. I am Mike Sasser, your host of the Health Hour, every Wednesday here on Lone Star Community Radio. And we are in downtown Conroe, Main Street, coming at you live. That's right. This is a live show. And sitting in the studio, looking outside, hot day out there. We've been getting some of these afternoon showers and things like that. But I think there's like a little bit forecast today. But going into this weekend, which, by the way, is a holiday weekend, 4th of July weekend, I understand that it's going to be like really hot. The last weather report that I saw, we're talking about 96, 98 degrees going into this 4th of July weekend. So again, if you're out and about, and or especially if you're working in this type of heat and this type of humidity, hydrate if you can. Please take a cool down break. I know a lot of times that you may think, well, we have to get the work done and things like that. But by all means, keep plenty of water and fluids with you. And by the way, we just did our last segment was on the amounts of sugar in sodas like Coca-Cola and Pepsi and things like that. But if you're working outside in the heat, you also want to be very aware and very careful because a lot of these energy drinks have a lot of sugar in them, and that will just simply accelerate or help dehydrate you. So water is the best thing that you can have out there in this type of heat. Just drink plenty of it. And again, if you can get in the shade for a minute, or even better in air conditioning and cool down some, that would be great for you. So we're in for a hot 4th of July weekend, and looks like it might turn out to be a hot summer. We started out here in Montgomery County and Houston for that matter with rain. Seemed like April and May were just rainstorms. We had 2 major flood events and all of that kind of stuff. And so now here we are. Summer's on, and the heat is on. So by the way, if you're just tuning in, you haven't heard of the Health Hour, we again, every Wednesday we do a live show, but you can always listen to the podcast at www.irlongstar.com. That's the Lone Star Community Radio website. And you can find the podcast of the Health Hour with as well as many other shows that we do here. And so you can listen anytime you like, anywhere there's internet, for that matter. If you're traveling somewhere, you can be, if you have an internet connection, that's what's so cool, is you can listen to it. If you want to contact me, or matter of fact, I post my podcast on my website as well, and you can contact me at MikeSasser.com. Okay. And there's a Contact Mike page, which you can, send me your questions, your comments. If you want to sponsor the show or have any interest, then let me know that. And then you can also click on, I believe it's News and Podcast, and go to the podcast and listen to them that way from my website. And today, I'm giving away a copy of my book. It's called Simple, Inexpensive, and Painless Weight Loss. But guess what? You have to email me through my website to get it. That's right. So go to the website, MikeSasser.com, click on Contact Mike, send me a email. And by the way, the code word, soda. Okay, today's code word is soda. Type that in the little message box there. And hey, you'll get a if you're the 5th email, you will get a signed copy of my book. All right. Well, cool. All right. Well, here we go. All right. We're going to talk about, in Montgomery County, and every county for that matter, but you have a health inspector out there that goes around to the restaurants, and their job is to make sure that these restaurants are keeping everything on the up and up, and keeping it clean for our health. We eat at these establishments, and so we should expect that they're doing things right. They're preparing the food right. They're keeping their equipment clean. They're keeping their equipment in good working order, and that's what these health inspectors do. And they do this all over Montgomery County. So I get these reports, and I look through them each week. So these are fairly they're from last week basically, and these are the actual reports that are from the inspectors. And by the way, if you are in a restaurant and you're curious about their health inspection report, if they don't have it posted, many times you can request it, and they should have it on file, and they should be able to show it to you. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to start with the good news of it. Okay, the good news is the restaurants that have scored a 100 on their reports, and that means like there was nothing. The inspectors couldn't find anything to write them up on. There are no problems whatsoever. So, pat on the back, if you will, for first one up is Tokyo Gardens, and that's right here in Conroe on North Fraser. And they were inspected on June 20th. All right. And they scored 100. So, hey, good job. Give it up for those folks at Tokyo Gardens. And by the way, again, this is from all over Montgomery County. So if I bounce around a little bit, that's kind of because that's what they do. They go all over the county. So the next one was Crust Pizza Company. They scored a 100. All right, and they were inspected on June 16th. All right, no problems, no issues whatsoever while the inspector was there. And you might say, well, Mike, what are you talking about? Pizza and stuff like that on the Health Hour? Shouldn't you be talking about healthy food? Well, I do, but the fact is we do go to these restaurants, and it's just nice to know that they are doing everything right, so to speak, to keep us healthy, to keep things good. When you go to these restaurants, you can always look and check their menus and see what healthy choices they have on their menus and things like that. So, I'm just giving these guys a pat on the back for doing a great job and getting things right. And so here's one that you see these, I think in the HEBs and other places, but My Fit Foods there in the Woodlands. That is, I know that's one place that they package some of their foods and things like that. But they're there on I-45, heading on the northbound side, and My Fit Foods, they were inspected on the 21st of June, and they got a 100. So what they do is. That's kind of one of those prepackaged foods with, that's a lot of healthy choices, and they assist people with also losing weight, which is not a bad thing. Certainly not a bad thing. So My Fit Foods there scored a 100. So good job for those folks. And here's something. Sometimes you don't think about that, but you go to the movies and you might buy one of these sodas with a whole lot of that sugar that we talked about, but you might also get some other type of a lot of these theaters nowadays, they have cafes and things, and so the Grand Theater right here in Conroe, their cafe scored a 100. They had everything on the up and up, and that was June 16th. So good job to the Grand Theater Cafe. All right. So that was the week of the folks who did a good job and kept everything on the up and up for us. Now, I have these are just some restaurants that had a few issues there while the inspector was there. And, so I'm going to bring them up. I'm going to share them with you, And like I said, a lot of times they fix these while the inspector's there. But, these are things that they got dinged on, if you will. And this is a popular place now in the Woodlands. This is Torchy's Tacos, all right, on Research Forest, and they scored a 93. And just looking at the report here, it said things like their dishwasher was not sanitizing, 3-compartment sink still, dumping water on the floor, and repair leaking faucet. So it looks like they need to do a little bit of work on their equipment there. All right. Here's another theater. Again, I found this kind of interesting, but Star Cinema Grill here in Conroe, they scored a 99. Boy, they were so close. They were so close. So I had to take a look and see what was going on there. And apparently they had some food that was thawing under cool running water, and it says that you can't thaw it under hot water or not in standing water. So they almost made 100, but again, that's what these inspectors do. They are looking out for our health when we go to these places, and we eat the foods and that type of stuff. So here's another one in Conroe. All right, and this is La Palma. This is a Mexican place here, and they scored a 90, and the inspection was on June 20th. Okay, so let's see what the inspector had to say about this report. You see this quite often, and you may not think too much about it, but again, all of this is for our health. Okay, so soap was needed at the hand sink by the ice machine. All right, remove bottle of Pine Sol from inside the hand sink. Okay, all right. Now, I wouldn't think Pine Sol should be where you're washing your hands and things like that. So good eye there. Repair a wall behind the fire extinguisher. All right, everything needs to be on the up and up with that. Clean the floors and shelves. All right, got that. And then let's see. It says looks like they had some problems with the thermometers in one of the refrigerating units there. So that is why they did not get 100. That's why they got a 90, score of 90. So, okay. Like I said, again, these people, I'm sure they're working on it. It's an everyday thing. Think about how many people go through there and the amount of food that they serve and all that. One more here, and this is a popular one here in Conroe as well. This is El Bosque. This is on Highway 105. They were inspected on June 17th. They also scored a 90, and this is a Mexican place. Pretty cool place, actually. And so what did the inspector write up on them? It says open drink on food prep table. You can't have the employees can't sit there and be drinking sodas and things like that while they're prepping food. All right, mop sink full of items. Okay, that needs to be fairly clean. Rear hand sink had Palm in the sink. Okay, Pam in the sink. Okay, all right. I'm guessing they had like that spray, Pam. And it says the ice scoop stored in the ice machine also needed cleaning as well. One other thing on here, and this is important, especially in the restaurants, is to date and mark all cooked foods, and they have to date that it was prepared as well as the date it's to be consumed by. So there's your restaurant reports. I don't know, was your restaurant on that list? It may have been. Were they good? Were they bad? Hey, let me know. How do you do that? You get in touch with me at www.mikesasser.com. Contact me on my contact page. You might even win a book if you email me today, looking for that 5th email to come in. And that is the restaurant reports for this week. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, I can't believe it, but we're going to be wrapping up the show today with the grocery store ads. And we'll see what Kroger's has that's coming up for the holiday weekend that's healthy for you and your family. So, hey, keep on listening.
We're starting to film our talk shows and putting them on YouTube. Your favorite Lone Star Community Radio show can be seen on YouTube under our Lone Star Community Radio channel and on City of Conroe's Our City TV channel on Suddenlink Channel 12. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to see the most recently released videos and find more information online at irlonestar.com/TV.
Hey, welcome back to the Health Hour. Mike Sasser here, your host, every Wednesday at 1 p.m. on Lone Star Community Radio. And this is an hour of health news you can use. That's right. We talk about positive things. We talk about ways to keep you and your family healthy and safe and just kind of overall well-being. And we do that every week right here live in Conroe on Lone Star Community Radio. So if you're listening in, I appreciate it. I thank you. And I would love to hear from you. The way to get in contact with me, the easiest way to get in contact with me is, go to my website, mikesasser.com, click on Contact Mike, shoot me an email. If you're a Facebook kind of person, guess what? I have my Facebook link on there. You can find me on Facebook. If you're a Twitter person, guess what? I've got Twitter. You can find me on Twitter. All those links are right there on that one page. It's just a click or two away, and you can get in touch with me and be a part of the Health Hour. You can sponsor the Health Hour if you like. So, we're always looking for sponsors. The exciting news is, right now we are internet-based, so you're listening to us at, www.irlonestar.com. But coming in July, we will be FM. That's right. You're riding around in your car or your truck out there, or your boat on the lake. Got your FM dial. You'll find us on FM 104.5 or FM 106.1, and you'll be able to listen to the live show right there on your radio. That is so cool. All right. And, just one other thing. There's just so many things. But podcasts, podcast is the coolest thing because all the shows are taped. All of these live shows are taped, and you can find them on the Lone Star Community Radio website as well as my website. I post all the links on there, and you can listen to those anytime you like. Whenever you like, anytime you like, and check it out. Podcasts are they're up. They're up all the time, 24 hours a day. So like this show, I don't know, takes couple days, 2 or 3 days or so, and we put it up, and boom, find me. I tell you what, go to my website and find my Facebook page, because I promote my show and everything there, and I'll let you know when the podcasts are up and running and everything. So hey, I had to make a stop at Kroger's today, and I grabbed one of their ads, and grocery store ads. Kind of do this almost every week. I like to take a look at it and just see what's on sale that may be good for you and your family. And coming up with a holiday weekend, there's a lot of sales out there. Again, I don't really get into the prices, but here's just a couple of things that really jumped out at me. And they have the Northwest Red cherries. By the way, cherries, this is in season. And antioxidants. Cherries have a lot of health benefits for you. They also have blueberries. And blueberries is just like one of the superfoods. I mean, if you're one of my Facebook friends out there, and you've seen, I went home, to visit my family, I guess a week or so ago, and my mom, my neighbor next door has some huge blueberry bushes or trees, and I mean, she sent me home with like a gallon of blueberries, and I've been eating blueberries for a while, but they're like really just really good for you, and instead of reaching for that bag of M&Ms or whatever, have you some blueberries handy in the refrigerator right there in the front, and grab those instead. Makes a great snack. I talk about this quite often. It's in my book as well. But steamed vegetables, Kroger's has a good sell on their steamed vegetables, and you can get more and more variety nowadays. I mean, everything from Brussels sprouts to green beans to corn, and it's steamable. So we're talking about inexpensive, and we're talking about convenience as well. Throw it in the microwave in 4.5 minutes, 5 minutes, I don't know, depending on whatever your microwave is. Boom, you have fresh vegetables. And guess what? The nutrient value is still there because they flash freeze these vegetables. They're not watered down. They're not salt added to them or anything like that. It's just the natural vegetables frozen. So excellent for you. If cans is more your style, they have beans and stuff, and these are organic, by the way, and they have a good sale on these. But black beans, pinto beans, just almost any kind of beans. Now, not really pork and beans or some of these grilled beans and that type of stuff. They have a lot of sugar added to them and sodium. But just your plain beans. Again, the convenience factor for that matter. I buy cans of black beans rather than soaking them all night long and then cooking them the next day and stuff like that for the convenience factor. But the tip is when you open anything or use any kind of beans or anything for that matter coming out of a can, first off, if you can get low sodium in the can, it's usually on there. Again, read the nutrition labels. If you can get low sodium, get that. But if you can't, open a can and just rinse the beans or whatever it is, potatoes, whatever you're getting out of the can. Rinse it with water, and you're going to wash off a lot of that sodium that's added, because they add sodium to these cans as a preservative. It preserves the beans or whatever's in the can, and so that's just a couple of things that's in the paper today. And like I said, most of your grocery stores, wherever you shop, their ad came out today, and it's usually a weekly ad. So it's good starting today, and it'll be good through next Tuesday. So HEB does it. Again, a lot of your local grocery stores out there do that. So check the ads. Take a moment, and by the way, you can find all these online as well on the internet. Almost all these stores have their ads posted on online, so you can find that. Helps you with your shopping bill as well, or your shopping list. You know what you're going to get, and you don't do all that kind of blind or impulse buying. Just a few things there to help you out when you go into the grocery store, and that's what the Health Hour is all about. So tune in, tell your friends about us. We're here on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. Lone Star Community Radio. If you miss the live show, you can always catch the podcast. So I'm Mike Sasser. Thank you so much for listening this week, and we'll be back next week with a whole new show. So have a great week, and have a good 4th of July weekend. Have a safe one out there. Catch you later.
Thanks for checking out this production on Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's radio station. For more information on this show and other shows on Lone Star, check us out online at irlonestar.com. If you're interested in sponsoring a program on Lone Star Community Radio and reaching the local audience of Montgomery County on FM, internet, and TV media, please call 936-647-5747. or contact us online at irlonestar.com. This recording is a Lone Star Community Radio production. produced by the show host and Dick Schisler of Lone Star Community Radio. Interested in volunteering as a music DJ or starting your own talk show? Contact Dick Schisler at dick@irlonestar.com or by phone at 936-647-5747.